Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. What you're looking at here on your screen is the remnants of a drone strike. Okay, the U.S. military launched a drone strike inside of Iraq just yesterday on this vehicle that you see here, and they took out a senior commander from Kataib Hezbollah. Okay, Kataib Hezbollah is an Iranian-backed militia group that operates throughout Iraq and Syria. And this commander supposedly is responsible for planning attacks on U.S. troops at multiple bases throughout the Middle East. So we've had like 170 or so attacks on U.S. troops inside the Middle East at different bases. And supposedly this guy is responsible for many of those attacks. Okay, Kataib Hezbollah has come out and they have claimed responsibility for numerous attacks on U.S. bases throughout Syria. So this is the guy right here. His name is Abu Bakr al-Sadi. Okay, so supposedly this is the guy that was taken out in that vehicle that you saw there in the video. So he is now gone. This is a drone strike that was launched on him. Okay, so I've got a CENTCOM press release as well. CENTCOM put out a press release and talked about this. So let's go over this real quick. U.S. CENTCOM conducts strike, killing Kataib Hezbollah senior leader. Okay, so this was just yesterday at 9:30 p.m. Baghdad time, February 7th, U.S. Central Command CENTCOM forces conducted a unilateral strike in Iraq in response to the attacks on U.S. service members, killing a Kataib Hezbollah commander responsible for directly planning and participating in attacks on U.S. forces in the region. There are no indications of collateral damage or civilian casualties at this time. The United States will continue to take necessary action to protect our people. We will not hesitate to hold responsible all those who threaten our forces' safety. So, if you guys heard on one of my last videos, so just like not even a week ago, Biden decided he basically came up with this idea how he was going to get back at all these groups that are launching attacks at U.S. troops throughout the Middle East. And he made his decision, and he said there was going to be, several phases to this. There was going to be a lot more than just one strike. So we had that massive strike throughout the Middle East. We've had lots more strikes inside of Yemen. And now this looks like the second, potential phase to this operation. And the U.S. stated that they were going to launch multiple strikes inside of Iraq and Syria. It wasn't just going to be a one-time thing. And they said this will continue for as long as it needs to. As long as they need to protect U.S. troops at these bases, they will continue to launch these strikes. And some of them may be precision strikes, just like the one we saw here. So this was a drone strike. They dropped probably a missile on this SUV that you see there in the video, right there. So yeah, it looked like it was in the middle of a street. And they were probably just driving down the road, and the U.S. forces targeted this vehicle and took it out. So here's a few other pictures as well. Here's a little slideshow of pictures of the aftermath here, okay? So there's the vehicle. It's like all destroyed there. That last photo was like them supposedly carrying a coffin that was dedicated for him, for this senior commander. There's another picture. So the vehicle got turned on its side, apparently. And there's a video of them picking it up with a picture of a crane picking it up. And a bunch of people were just standing around. A lot of bystanders were watching this while it happened. So there you go. Yep. And we also got an article here too that we're going to go over in just a moment. So there's all the photos that I had for you. Let's take a look at this article and dive in a little bit deeper on what happened here. So U.S. kills senior leader of Iran-backed Kataib Hezbollah in strike in Iraq, says senior U.S. official. Okay, again, so this was just yesterday. Here's the video that I was just showing you guys right here. So yeah, massive blaze there. I think there was multiple people who died as well. It wasn't just the commander. So we'll figure that out here. The U.S. killed a senior leader of the Iran-backed group Kataib Hezbollah in Iraq Wednesday. A senior official confirmed to CBS News the individual targeted was a commander who was in charge of operations in Syria. U.S. Central Command, which is responsible for the Middle East, and in a statement that the targeted commander was responsible for directly planning and participating in attacks on U.S. forces in the region. So that's the main reason why they they targeted this guy was to take him out, because supposedly he was the one who was planning these attacks on U.S. troops, okay? And again, we've had like 170 attacks, and they weren't all from Kataib Hezbollah, but quite a few of them were. Okay, so I'm sure there was also the Islamic Resistance of Iraq. I'm sure we'll be going after them next, and potentially their senior leaders as well. So CENTCOM also said that there was no indication that there had been civilian casualties or collateral damage as a result of the strike. Kataib Hezbollah is one of the Iran-backed groups the U.S. holds responsible for a series of attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria, as well as for the deadly drone strike in Jordan that killed 3 U.S. soldiers and wounded dozens more. Officials told CBS News the strike in Iraq was part of a response President Biden had promised in the aftermath of the drone strike in Jordan. So there you go. Just like I said, there's going to be multiple phases to this. It's not just going to be a one-time retaliation attack. It's going to be multiple attacks, and they said it'd be consecutive over consecutive days. They didn't say when. They didn't say that it would be back-to-back days, and they said they would do it at a time of their choosing. That came from President Biden. Okay, he said that he would launch these strikes at a time of his own choosing. The retaliation for that attack began last Friday when the U.S. hit more than 85 targets in Iraq and Syria. That included command and control operations, centers, missiles, and rockets used by the militia groups and their Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps sponsors, U.S. Central Command said in a statement. So this was that large attack that we saw. Yeah, 85 targets in Iraq and Syria. So it was just like about a week ago when this happened, okay? And now a week later, now we get this drone strike on this Kataib Hezbollah senior leader, okay? So Iranian-backed militia groups have launched at least 168 attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq, Syria, and Jordan since October 17th. Those attacks, according to data provided by the Pentagon, have killed 3 U.S. service members, very seriously injuring 2, seriously injured 9, and 132 others have suffered non-serious injuries. So yeah, you know, like almost like 150 people here were either injured or killed. Okay, we had those 3 troops that were killed on that drone strike in Jordan. Just what was that? Just like about a week and a half ago. So yeah, these attacks are going to continue inside of Iraq and Syria, and these are targeted strikes to go after these groups that are directly involved in carrying out attacks against U.S. forces. So there he is again. This is the gentleman that was taken out, Abu Bakr al-Sadi. Okay, so that was him, and there's his remnants there burning inside that vehicle. So what a heck of a strike that was. And I honestly wasn't expecting that. I didn't think we were going to be going after their commanders this quickly, but apparently the U.S. was able to target him and locate where he was at quickly, because it's only been just about a week since we started these strikes. And yeah, so he's gone. I'm sure now we're probably gonna see some sort of retaliation event from Kataib Hezbollah. We may see more attacks from them coming pretty soon. I'm sure U.S. forces are preparing for that. I'm sure they've been beefing up their air defense at their bases. But hopefully we don't have more U.S. troops getting killed from this, because this is only gonna, just like you see that car on fire, it's only gonna create more flames to this whole tension throughout the region. But, you know, the U.S. is retaliating for those troops getting killed. So, you know, as they have the right to do so, I guess, you know. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and checking out this news. I'll be keeping up to date on this. If anything else comes out, I will definitely update all of you. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Everybody take care. God bless, and we'll see you later.